Hello, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So, confession time. I do not like tracking expenses, and I haven't tracked my expenses at all this year, and I have not filled out a month end review at all this year for sure. So I've been trying to change my habits because I want to start tracking my expenses because that's the best way to figure out your spending habits and, just make adjustments to your budget if you need to. And if you watched my October budget, then you heard me say that I need to kind of figure out how to increase our groceries budget because that has been in the red for some time now and we need to make some adjustments. But I just need to figure out, did we just have a bad month that put us in the red because we were busy and we really didn't have time to cook at home? So were we just too busy in a prior month and we need to catch up and just bring that account current, or like what's going on? And also, I want to start tracking our expenses so that we don't have lifestyle creep, because that is part of my my budget planner. And let's see, so it is part of my budget planner. I'll show you a clean one. This is the 2024 budget planner that I made. It is the drill down budget planner, and it is the light bi-weekly version. So in this, I'll link my flip through of this planner in the cards, but in here I have a standard of living tracker that basically is going to help you track lifestyle creep. So if you don't know what lifestyle creep is, it's basically as your income grows, your expenses grow. So I do not want that to happen. So I want to start tracking our expenses so that I can understand our spending habits and prevent lifestyle creep. So that is the main goal of why I want to be better at tracking. Now, I don't like to track because I find it tedious, and I do not like to track, like if I put money in cash envelopes or in sinking funds, I don't like to track the money that are going out of those envelopes if it is going towards whatever that envelope or sinking fund is. So like car repair and maintenance, if I'm paying for our car tags out of the car repair and maintenance sinking fund, then I don't feel the need to track that. But I need to get out of that mindset because, again, tracking expenses is one of the best ways to prevent lifestyle creep, because your expenses aren't creeping up little by little over time, and then you look up and you're like spending buku money. So I sat down and I tried to figure out, like, what are some ways that I can make tracking expenses easier on me so that I don't find it really difficult to close out our month-end review, and then therefore these numbers that's in the month-end review I can put on my standard of living tracker and then start to track our progress. I am also, like, the planner I'm using for 2023 is also the drill down budget light bi-weekly planner. So what I did was I went through my monthly budget and I categorized everything. I've had categories before, but I took a look at them. Last time I created them was in April of this year, and some things have changed, so I wanted to see if I could update it. And since I haven't been tracking expenses all this year, even though I did create budget categories, that tells me that the budget categories that I chose still weren't working. So it wasn't easy for me to track. So I sat down and I'm like, okay, so why is it that I don't want to track expenses, other than I just really don't like to do it? I prefer it to be electronic, but until I can get to fully electronic tracking the way I want, I need a good way, an easy way to track expenses. So one of the barriers is that we shop at places like Target and we buy multiple things. We buy food, but we also buy like beauty supplies, clothes, stuff like that. And I hate breaking down those type of receipts. So Target, Walmart, and Costco are, oh, and Amazon. Amazon is a big one because I do buy food off of Amazon. I don't like to split receipts, and it's just, I don't know, I just don't like to do it. So I'm like, okay, how can I make that process easier so that come month end, like it's easy for me to keep up with tracking. If I like just have 5 minutes, I can go ahead and check our account and write down our expenses. And then at month end, when it's time for the month end review, I can go ahead and categorize it easily. I am going to use the highlighter method. So the category is listed right here. So I'm going to assign a category a color and highlight the expenses so that come month end, I can go ahead and group them together and do the actuals in this column. So one quick note on the month end review, you'll notice that these two columns are blank, and I did do that on purpose. Even though this is an undated planner, I want you to be able to choose whether you want to compare the month that you're working on, the budgeted versus actual, or you can do the compare the prior month to this month's expenses. So I wanted you to have the choice, and in mine, I'm going to do this month's budgeted expenses versus actual expenses. So that's what I did here, and that's why I went through and I categorized all of my budgeted expenses so that I could go ahead and pre-fill this out. So that's one less thing that I have to do at month end. I'm all about setting myself up for success. So taking a look at my categories from April, I just made some tweaks and I just want to share them with you. So anyone who may be struggling with tracking expenses like I am, maybe this will help you. So if anything, maybe it'll inspire a few more categories for your budget. But I went through and I already wrote down our transactions so far this month, and I put down a category, so that's going to be easy for me to sum up at the end of the month. So I am on track. And how I did that was I made a decision on how I would handle those mixed receipts. So let me start going down the budget categories, and once I get to that, like how I fixed it, I'll let you know. It's fairly, I'll get there quick. So one of our first categories is our 4 walls. So there's only so many lines right here. I knew I needed to group together certain expenses anyway, and how the budget planner is going to work is that whatever you're tracking, like whatever categories you're tracking, you're going to track them throughout the whole year. So you kind of want to put a good amount of thought into your budget categories, because again, you are going to have them for the whole year, but you can always add to them, but just kind of like make sure they make sense for your lifestyle. So for our 4 walls, what I grouped together in this category is our mortgage, any insurances, the internet, our home internet, security, utilities, pest control, and like our cell phone bill. So I need to write that here. So that is those are the things that make up my 4 walls category. And then we have clothes, just because I want to keep an eye on how much we're spending. But typically clothes would be a part of 4 walls, because you need clothes. You don't need a lot, but you need like essentials, and essentials do wear out over time, so they need to be replaced. But I really like clothes, so I want to make sure that I'm keeping an eye on how much we're spending. And how I fix the mixed category expenses is with this category right here. I called it food and consumables. So again, we buy food and household goods, cleaning supplies, all that kind of stuff from Target, Costco, Amazon, things like that. And I don't feel like splitting those receipts. So ultimately, at the end of the year, as long as my family is fed and healthy, like we don't have bad eating out habits. Like we do eat out, don't get me wrong. We do eat out when we don't feel like cooking, or if we're tired or something like that, or if we have a taste for something. But for the most part, we do eat at home. So I'm not really worried about how much we're spending on food at the end of the day, as long as our family is eating good food and it's healthy and things like that. And then consumables is going to be everything that we buy from, the Targets, the Amazons, things like that. That's not food. So beauty, cleaning supplies, I'm throwing candles in here, hair supplies, and all of those things, we typically buy them at the stores that I mentioned. So to not have to break up those receipts, I'm putting food with like a catch-all category called consumables. Yeah, so that's mainly how I am getting over one of the hurdles that I have, like my mental blocks on wanting to track expenses. Gas is easy for me because we do buy gas from Costco almost exclusively. So I can just go in at the end of every month and then just write down how much we spent on gas that month. So that's easy for me to keep as a separate category. Childcare is a weekly expense, and I've been tracking that by itself. And if you watched my budget video, you knew that I was going back and forth and worrying about whether we were gonna pay the family fee for childcare. And thank you, Jesus. He's just, man. We do not have to pay the family fee. So all of the cash envelopes and things like that that I wanted to stuff are going to get stuff, minus like I had to tweak an amount and Christmas didn't get anything, but the important sinking funds did get stuffed. So pull-ups, eventually this category will go away, because so I don't want a dip in the childcare expenses, so I kind of like separated them, but I can see pull-ups being a part of childcare, but to each his own. And then debt is for our car loan and for the interest that we're paying on my husband's student loans. Business is anything that I put to this channel or to Planner Function. Medical, self-explanatory, so anything eyes, doctor, anything like that. That also is a tax write-off, so I definitely want to keep track of that. Home is going to consist of repair and maintenance, tools, and decor. So anything that goes towards decorating the house, little 3M strips, like anything like that, I'm going to put into home. So not to inflate the food and consumables category with stuff that is more like you get multiple use out of in your home. So, I mean, I could put candles in here as well, but candles is like something you gotta keep on rebuying, because I mean technically it's decor, but because you use it up, I put it in consumables. Cars is repairs and maintenance, our car registration, any car washes that we do, or just anything related to the car. Professional services is right now it's mostly just whenever we hire someone to do our taxes. Beauty services is me getting my eyebrows done or getting my hair done, or if someone go get a haircut or anything like that. So travel and family fun is if the family goes out on a vacation. Like, I lump these two together because I kept coming across an issue of, okay, if the family goes on a vacation, then that's technically vacation, and then if we just go somewhere local, is that vacation, or is that just, you know, a trip? Like, how do you categorize that? And I didn't want to break up the like vacation versus travel versus like family activities, so I'm lumping them all together. So some things will be called travel, like us saving up for Bora Bora, that's going to be labeled travel. But when we're saving up for birthdays or just, you know, fun activities, like we go to the zoo or something, that's going to be family fun. But ultimately those two categories will be combined. And then this one I just called social life, and that's any activities that we do with family and friends. So if we go see family and we do something with them, we spend some money, that's going to go into family and friends. And I'm separating those two just because I want to see like how much do we spend when just like me and my like family go out and do stuff versus like how much do we go out with family and friends. And that's the only reason why I'm splitting that up. Subscriptions and memberships is like our Costco membership, Amazon Prime, Netflix, the kids Amazon Kids Plus subscription on their tablets, things like that. So we want to make sure that that's not creeping up and not getting lost in the sauce. And then landscaping. So I put 4 walls dash landscaping. So typically landscaping would be part of my 4 walls category, but we are going to have to spend some money because our landscaping is out of control, and yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. But probably in 2025 or whenever we get the our yards together, I'll put the landscaping up into 4 walls. But I just wanted to break it out just so I can keep an eye on it and start saving up for it, because whew, it's going to be And then I have a category for giving, and this includes charity, tithes, any support that we give to family and friends. Like, not that I'm like tracking it, I just don't want it to be captured in any of these categories. So, and I also, whenever I do it, I don't want to like I don't want to expose these numbers. So to not do that, I want to just lump it all together. It's coming out of another account, so you guys don't see it anyway, but yeah, there's that. And then savings is just like anything that we put towards our emergency fund, our buffer, or anything like that. So these are the budget categories that I came up with that I think will help me get over not wanting to track expenses, because already I'm looking forward to like writing down all of our transactions as they happen, because I no longer have to split receipts. So I just want to share like my woes with budget tracking this year. It's been a doozy, and I know I need to track, but I was getting hung up on it. So hopefully this video helps somebody out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.